Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm filming on it's like a vlogging camera, so it might be different quality, different sound for instance, should I say. Now I've got my external lighting on, so that's why I can't put my microphone on, because I can only do one or the other. And I wanted you to see all my higher end palettes. I'm going to go through them and just establish what I want, what I don't want, what I need to be pulling to obviously try to see if I liked, to see what I can declutter, because there is quite a lot and I just don't want to give them away for the sake of giving them away. I mean, I've spent a lot of money down the years on this makeup, so I want to get as much use out of it as I possibly can. So I need to find somewhere to sit so I can actually show you what I've got. Right, so this one is the Kylie, the burgundy palette. So that's what that one looks like. It's still in the packaging. I think I've used this like a handful of times. I got this in the Black Friday sale quite a while back, probably say about a year or two ago. And it is such a beautiful palette, but I have got so many shades the same, so I'm actually thinking about selling that on my Depop, or just on my Facebook selling page that I do for makeup. Now this shade in particular, this gold shade, is absolutely stunning, which basically makes me want to keep it, but it really reminds me of the Kathleen Light shade I've got, so I don't just want to keep a palette just for one shade. So what I'm going to be doing with this one is popping it in a drawer and just seeing if I like it, and then obviously if I don't, I'm going to get rid of it. The next thing is a palette that I've created myself, and it's it just comes in a little NYX palette, and then it's got these gorgeous shades here, and I think it's an Zoeva Cocoa Blends, that's what I want to say it is. It's got one shade missing just because it's in a MAC like two-panner kind of thing. Really like it. I'm just not 100% sure on it, so again this needs to be pulled and I need to figure out whether I like it. If not, I might give it to my niece. I think it will, I think she'll like it. This one is staying, just because I've not had near enough. It's hardly had any use. I've had it, quite a few years. I didn't get it when it first came out or anything like that. I was probably one of the last people to get it, but everyone was saying, you need to try it, Andrea. It really is good. The formula's good. What I will say is I don't prefer it over the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. I prefer that more. So yeah, I'm going to keep this for now. Then we have these came out at Christmas. So we've got the Too Faced Gingerbread Cookie, we've got the Too Faced Peppermint Mocha, Too Faced Eggnog Latte. I think it's just the three. I've got like two separate palettes, so these ones are really good for travelling with, so you get all your eye shades there. In particular, out of this gingerbread cookie one, I love this shade, this ginger snap, so I'm going to keep hold of it. I mean, I'm not too impressed with these cooler toned, but that's personally just me. I don't really use cooler toned shadows, and I really do like that gingerbread bronzer as well. I just need to make more use out of it. And then we've got the Peppermint Mocha. Now, to be honest, I am not that impressed with this one. I might actually, again, either sell it or give it to my niece, because I don't use it that much. The only shade I use is this Christmas blend. I'm going to try using the Santa Baby blusher, and if I don't like it, I'll just pass it on. Then we have the Eggnog Latte. I like the green, I like the Central Park shade. Can you see that? I like the Central Park shade. And I like the Eggnog Latte, and I like the Peach Cobbler, so that can stay. So there's one possible declutter. Then I have this one. As soon as I saw this, I knew that I wanted it, and it's the Christmas in New York Merry Macaroons Vanilla Scented Palette. Now, as you can see, I've hit pan on one of the shades, made a huge dent here and here and here. I just need to use it more. Like, I've not used this in a long time. So yeah, my favourite shades in this palette would be Coconut, Banana Cream, Champagne Rose. I also like Tiramisu and Dulce de Leche for the transition shades, and also I like Praline, and Honey Lavender's nice as well, and I'm not too sure about this violet shade, so I just want to try this more. I don't think I'll get rid of it, I really do like it. This really isn't that high end, but it's hard to get hold of in the UK. That's why I put it in the higher end drawer, and it's the BH Cosmetics Shaaanxo 9 colour eyeshadow palette. Now this is the original, so it's the original. I haven't tried her newer one because I just don't want to, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, I don't feel like I need to try it when I've got this. So they're all the eyeshadows. How do I feel about this one? Yeah, it's nice. It's just very, very neutral. I like this one. I think I'm keeping hold of it because of this shade, really, and that shade I like. I do like these two shades as well, I'm not gonna lie, and this like champagne and gold. What am I saying? I like all of these eyeshadows, so that's not going anywhere. And then on the reverse side, you've got your lip glosses, really, really nice lip glosses, apart from these two. I wouldn't wear them. I want to get some more use out of this in the winter, so yeah, I'm going to be probably doing a blog post on that. Then we've got the bronze palette by Kylie, which I barely touched, as you can see. To be honest, guys, I mean, I don't really recommend this, but I'm sure this is a fake. I'm sure it is. What I'm thinking of doing with this one is, you can see all the oils on the eyeshadows anyway. I'm thinking of getting rid, because I'm like 110% sure it's a fake. Let's get the other Kylie and let me see the font. I mean, I would never recommend like buying fakes. I've seen what they can do to your eyes. So right, so this is the bronze, yeah, this is the bronze palette font here, font there, and then this is, they just look completely different to me. I mean, they've done a good job, don't get me wrong. And then let's have a look on the back. See, that's the font on the bronze palette, and then that's the font on the burgundy palette. Now, they have done a good job. If it is a fake, I'm going to look into that further, but I don't think I want to keep it anymore. Like I said, you know, if it's genuine, I'll probably give it to my niece, see if she can get some kind of use out of it. If it's not, I'll just bin it. Then we've got this really, really cute Huda Beauty, and it's a fairly recent purchase. I have had it a while, but it is fairly recent, and they brought out these new Obsession ones. Like the green one in particular looks amazing, but this one, I got this one because obviously I had nothing like it in my collection. I absolutely love it. I love this shade here. I love all these like kind of metallic shades, and the mattes are really good too, so I'm definitely keeping hold of that. Then we have this Cargo palette, and I don't know which one this is. Oh, Vintage Escape Eye Palette, if you can see that there. This camera actually seems to be filming a lot better than my normal one, so when I'm like, when I just want to show you things, I think I'll use this in future. So anyway, that's what the palette looks like. And as you can see, I've not used it a ton, so I'm gonna pull this in the next few weeks, and if I don't use it or don't like it, it will be going, just because I have got so many palettes like it. Then we've got another cargo one, and this is in Summer in the City palette. And now I remember at the time when I was just first getting into makeup and the YouTube channel, I bought these cargo palettes. Yes, the higher end, or the classed as higher end, but basically I couldn't afford to get like the likes of Too Faced and, you know, MAC and all the higher end. So I bought things like this because, you know, just because you get really good value for your money. Now I'm not too sure if I like this one or not. I certainly don't. It seems, I mean, you do get a couple of mattes in there, but it seems most of it is shimmer, and I like kind of like a 50-50 percentage in my eyeshadows. I mean, which ones do I actually wear? I probably wear the more golden tones, which look like that, but it's not overly pigmented, which I love. A palette that's got a lot of pigment to it, so that one might be going. And then I got this one from TK Maxx, another cargo one, and it's called the Around the World. Why has that got hair on it? Ooh, that one's got hair on it. Around the World Cargo Cosmetics palette. And look, it's barely been touched. I mean, looking at it, it looks so boring, but there are shades in here that I could probably put in my project pan, like this one, New York, Amsterdam, London would be kind of like a transition shade, along with Shanghai. Rome I'd definitely get through. So there are a few shades, and I wouldn't mind trying Dublin, just because I've started using the smokier shades. So yeah, I'm gonna look into that, and that'll probably go. So this one, Smashbox Full Exposure. Oh, I wanted to love this so much, guys, but I just don't, and I spent so much money on it. And I remember like seeing all the reviews on Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube, and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna get it. These shimmers are absolutely awful. I don't like them, and I've got enough mattes in these colours, so I'm gonna try and get, well, I'm gonna try and sell it first, because it did cost me a lot of money, and if I can't do that, I'll pass it on. So far we've got a potential 2 that are going, which this video, I will be honest, it was never meant to be a declutter one. It was just showing you my higher end palettes. So this one is the Lorac Pro, which I really like. I'm going to keep it in the collection just for now, and see how I feel about it. But yeah, I like that. Then going into the back of the drawer, we've got this Too Faced Love, I think it's just Too Faced Love palette by obviously Too Faced. I really like this, guys. I know a lot of you said that you didn't like it, but I really like it. It's still got the eyeliner in there, so I need to take that out, and I definitely need to get more use out of this. I particularly really enjoyed using this green. I've not really used this shade that much, so I want to try using that more. But yeah, this is definitely going to stay in the collection. You'll see a theme with my palettes. I really do enjoy the Too Faced formula. And then at the back, I don't know how, like, I don't know if it is higher end Sephora, but I remember paying at least £25 for this when I was in Sephora in Portugal. So I would say it was on par really with the likes of like Too Faced. It's just a little bit less. So I thought I would obviously, you know, keep it in this drawer. And it's the Sun Bleached Filter palette, and I was going to get the other palette, but it looked too dark, so I just got this one. So that's what that one looks like. I'm definitely going to keep this. I don't foresee me ever getting rid of it, just because it reminds me of like my trip with my mum when I went to Portugal. I love practically every shade in here, to be honest. I mean, I've made huge dents. I really, really like this shade here. What's that one called? Late Gram. Really like this as a transition shade, and that one's called Secret Boudoir. This one, Selfie, I love. Sandy Toes is really, really nice. Then we've got Swan Song. Yeah, even that one's nice, and this square one here, and that's in the shade Swell, and that's not my typical shade. I normally stay like in neutrals, but yeah, we'll be keeping that. And then we've got this lovely BH Cosmetics one, and again it's in here just because obviously, you know, after taxes and like customs and stuff like that, it does work out a little bit more. So it is the Marble Collection in Warm Stone. I'm sure there's more than one palette like this, and this really reminds me of that Sephora one, so I think that's why I kept them both together, and I absolutely love this. Just looking at it now is just saying, you know, you need to pull this and you need to do looks with it. So I'm going to pull it and maybe use it in next week's makeup. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but this shade is to die for, guys. That one I love, that one, that one, that one, that one. And most of the transition shades. If I go in with a light hand with this one, it's nice. I haven't used the darker shades yet, but that's not to say I'm not going to use them. I have been getting more basically adventurous with darker shades, so you know, let's see how that goes. Then we've got this Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, and to be honest, I have been using it just because, sorry, not been using it, it's in my collection just because it's limited edition. It's Gwen Stefani, but I don't know if I can justify keeping it there when obviously I should be making room, not for something else necessarily because I'm on a no-buy, but the only shades that are probably telling me to like keep is these three here, because I don't know, those two actually, not even three, maybe those two and that one there. So they're the shades Danger, which is that, it's just a gorgeous blue. I don't even know if I've got a blue like that in my collection. Then you've got the, what's that one called? Harajuku. Oh, I know I haven't pronounced it properly, I probably butchered that. I really, really do like 1987, but obviously I've got other golds in my collection like that. I mean, Telepathy from Colourpop is a very similar shade. And then the rest, it would be just a normal basic palette, so I wouldn't have any problems in actually, you know, decluttering it from the collection. But because it is what it is, like with the Pops of Colour, I'm going to basically be pulling it, and in the next few weeks, however long it takes to get to all these palettes, I'm just going to see which ones I do like. And I mean, you know, I've kind of evolved when it comes to eyeshadows. I don't like what I used to like, so I might not even like the formula anymore, and I might actually be getting rid of that. So that's that one. Then we have this one. This one has always been something for me where it's like, oh, I really, really don't like it, because it's a smoky eye palette, and it's the Tarte Amazon Escape Volume 2. Should have really sent this back to QVC when I got it. I knew I didn't like it and wouldn't be using it a lot. So we've got these shades here. Now, I've obviously had some use out of this one. I'm going to try this. I'm going to pull this as well. The things that are making me keep this palette are the Amazon Clay blushes. So you've got this shade here. Doesn't even tell me the shade it is, and then you've got this shade here, and that's a really, really nice blush, and that's like a bronzer. So I'm just going to do some swatches. As you can see, I haven't really gotten much use out of it, but I want you to see just going to swatch that bronzer again. Want you to see what they look like. So can you see that there? Really, really pretty. So that is why I've been keeping hold of them. Where are we going now? We'll go to this one. So this one, I was super excited about getting this. It's the Chloe Morelos and Ciate Pretty Fun and Fearless Volume 2. Now, Volume 1 looks so nice and I missed out on that. So when I saw this on the Ciate website and it was in the sale, I just thought, go for it, Andrea. You got other products. You got like a really nice lipstick, and the lipstick is stunning. I think it's in the shade Sydney. You got a gel eyeliner as well, which I've never used because I don't use those types of eyeliners, but you get all these shades and it really is pretty packaging. So I mean, it reminded me of the Lorac Pro one, which comes in similar packaging. So, you know, I was really excited about using it. But guys, I don't think I like it at all. I mean, I like these shades here, and I don't have anything like this in my collection. That's why I'm keeping it. This shade here, I absolutely hate, and it's called Baby, and it's a lavender. I'm going to swatch it for you now, so you can't really accuse me of dissing Chloe. I mean, I think she's a lovely girl, to be honest, from what I can see on YouTube. I have only watched a few of her videos though. So that's been swatched 2 times. When you put it on the eyes, you barely get any pigment whatsoever. So that's one of the shades I don't like right off the bat. My favourite row in this palette is this top row. I really like it, gotta admit, just because they're the kind of shades that I normally gravitate towards. I think these 2 shades here, even though that's more of a sheen, I don't think you needed to put both in. And also these 2, how similar are them, guys? How similar is Renegade and Morello Cherry? So even if you wanted to put Violet and Jelly Bean in, put them in by all means, but only put one of these shades in, and then you've got room for another shade. So then you've got these 2 shades down here, which, yeah, they are a little bit different. You've got Platinum and Ellie. Obviously they are a bit different, you can see that just on camera. But I mean, all the shades just look so similar. Like these ones in particular, Rose Gold and Copper, so similar. It's just, I mean, I could have done a bit more research before I bought it, but I just thought for that price, and obviously those greens made me buy it. Soul and Chartreuse, I think it's called. So yeah, they made me buy it. But I'm just not happy with it. I don't think I'll get rid of it though, because I do love those shades. So I'll probably try panning those shades and obviously see how I feel about the rest of the palette. Then at that point maybe I'll give it away to a family member. Then we have this Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette. Now I got this a couple of years back for my birthday, and for so long I wasn't going to buy it. Well, I didn't buy it, I got it as a birthday present, and I'm happy to have it. I've got to admit, I really am happy to have it. Just taking it out of the packaging. So obviously by now we all know it looks like that. And as you can see, it's not had a lot of use from me. I need to start using this more. In particular this. At the time, like, of me getting this, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to use this, because I don't use colourful looks. But now, it's like I use more colourful eyeshadows than not. So, you know, I think really, when I first got this, the only shades that I used were China White as a base shade, Rich Bitch, obviously, you know, on the eyelid, Courtney as a transition shade. I tried Violence, and then I used Princess on the inner corner. I also used Confessions on the eyelid. I think I've only swatched Expensive I don't even think I've ever used Star Power, and I know that I've not used Vanity and Black Rainbow, so I definitely want to use that more. Then we've got this one, and again, I know it's not higher end for you guys that live in the USA, America, and like even Canada and places like that. But for me, you know, getting hold of products like this can be expensive, so that's why it's in this drawer. And also my my drugstore one is full to the brim because I've got another palette drawer yet, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. I absolutely love this palette, guys, and I know that she brought out another one, so obviously, you know, when I've like I might put this in a project pan, and when I've used this next year, I might reorder the other ones. You can see which shades I love. I love these. Like, I love all the golden tone shades. I love this shade here. This is had quite a lot of use. And then these highlighters, these lighter highlighters, I love the fact that these darker highlighters are in it as well. Like these two highlighters I can use for eyeshadow once I've run out of these. So it will last me a long time. And yes, I'm keeping that one. This one, I've got to admit, I'm not 100% sure on. I absolutely love the packaging. Let me just take this out. Absolutely love the packaging. But the palette itself, the contents inside, do I like it enough to keep it? Probably not, no. I mean, I love this base shade. I love this shade here. Again, I'm gonna pull this, and I'm just gonna use it a little bit more, and if I don't like that, I'm gonna declutter it. So that's a possible 3 that could be going. Then this was the very first eyeshadow palette I got. I remember, like, I think it was Little Miss Style Guru. I don't even know if she makes videos anymore, but I was talking to her about it, and I said, what's a good brand to buy? And she said Urban Decay. Urban Decay do some of the best eyeshadow palettes out there. So I saw this and it was on sale, and I do need to use this more to decide whether I'm going to keep it or not. It still is such a beautiful palette, guys. Obviously I've got the full liner still, the 24/7 Glide On liner in per version. And then, like, before I started dabbling in all these coloured eyeshadows, I'd use Kinky, Freestyle, I've used Mushroom in the past. I don't think I've used Black Down or Blackout, yeah, because they don't even look touched. I know that I've used Barlust and Rockstar. This, oh my god, that blue is gorgeous. I need to use this. Evidence and Loaded, I need to definitely use this palette again and soon, so I'm going to pull that out and just get some use out of that. This one is the Elizabeth Arden, and guys, in all the time I've had it, which is a couple of years now, I've never used it. I got it in a little set for my birthday. I'm super appreciative of it. It really is a stunning palette, but I don't know if I'm going to get use out of it, to be honest. I want to at least use it once and not just swatch it, so I'm gonna try it and see if I like it, and I'm probably just gonna pass it on, because I've got so much makeup and I don't need it all. And yeah, it is higher end. Yeah, so I decided not to. I was very good. So the next palette is this one, and again, I've had this a while. I think this was the second one I got, and guys, I can't believe what I'm going to show you now, but it's barely been touched. I mean, look at that. This green, never been touched. Indo, it's called. Like all the golds I would have touched. Smog, that's in the first Urban Decay palette. Baked Cowboy has never been touched. Yeah, it has. I think I think it has. Free Love looks amazing. I don't know whether I've used it. I think I might have used it once. So basically all the bronzy shades have been touched, but when it comes to the colour I've just not used it. So I'm going to pull that and see if I can get some more love out of that. Another one that I'm going to pull is this Too Faced Natural Eyes. Like I said before, I am such a sucker when it comes to Too Faced products, but I'm really not too sure about it. I've had it forever and... well, not forever, I bought it about a year ago from TK Maxx, and I've not... I think it's just down to the sheer volume of palettes I've got in my collection. I don't really use it that much, so I'm going to test it, and if I don't like it, if I don't feel it's as pigmented as I like, I'm going to get rid. Then we've got the Too Faced Cat Eyes. The only shade, I've got to admit, the only shade I'm wearing is this Tiger Eyes shade, and I just feel like somebody could get more use out of it. So I'm going to try these shades here, and if I don't like it, which it's not giving me much inspiration, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm going to pass it on. Right, so this one I've never used, and it's the So Lush eyeshadow palette. As you can see, it's got the cling film still on it. Really is a beautiful palette. In some respects it reminds me of that new Urban Decay one, like the orange toned eyeshadows remind me of that a little bit, so I'm going to use it and hopefully I'll just love it. That green, that Ivy shade, and Rude Boy, they look like they'd be amazing together, so I can't wait to try that. This one is just another Cargo, but this is like a 4-panner. Now I've had this ages and just I've never even tried it yet, so what I want to do is try it out and then possibly declutter that. This Morphe, the little palette, had this quite a while. I'm going to be doing the same with that. Really like this gold shade here, like that. That duochrome is probably the only thing that is making me keep the palette. I can actually just pan certain shades, but it's only a small palette, so it's not taking up much room. So then we're moving on to the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. Now this I got in the sale, and I got quite a bit off, and I absolutely love this palette, guys. I love this LCW shade and this TRM shade. The gold, the Stay Gold is gorgeous. Lime Time is. They're all super pigmented. I think the only shade I haven't used is, what shade's that? 13th Floor, which is the matte black. But yeah, really do like it. So that's staying. Then we have this. Now I got this off my sister a few years ago. I don't even know what possessed me to pick up an all matte eyeshadow palette, because that's not something I go for as a rule. But it was out, and it was like, she gave me enough money for this, and I just thought, oh, you know, I'll get it. You can see it's barely touched. I think I'm going to try and sell it, just because I have barely touched it. All these shades look similar, and then they look similar. Everything just looks similar, you know. I've got these shades in other palettes. I don't need to keep hold of it. So yeah, I'm going to, I think, try and sell that. Right, then we have the Balm Voyage. I really like this palette, I've got to admit. So it's not been used in a while, as you might be able to see. I don't think I've used this Bienvenido eyeshadow palette. I don't think I used Welcome. I used the highlighter. It's very similar to the other highlighter that they brought out, Mary Luminizer, very similar to that. I think I tried the bronzer and I tried that shade blush. So I just want to, you know, try this a little bit more before I make a final decision. And then you've got 2 lipsticks there. Really, really good palette with for travelling again. So then I have this, the Balm Nude palette, and I got this from TK Maxx, as you can see from the price. Still in the outer sleeve, and again, barely touched. And to be honest, I don't know if I like it, so I'm gonna try it, and obviously if I don't use it a lot, that'll be getting sold. No, it wasn't, the other palette wasn't Cocoa Blend. I know I had the Cocoa Blend one though by Zoeva. It must have been the rose one, I can't remember the name of it. But this is the Cocoa Blend one. It is beautiful, guys. When I bought the first palette, which is now in that NYX palette, I thought I probably won't buy any more. But this, I highly recommend Zoeva as a brand. I mean, they're only a little bit more expensive than the likes of Makeup Revolution, and they're just so creamy. Yeah, this one is a really nice one. Then we have this Zoeva Rodeo Belle. It's barely been used. Again, it's in the outer sleeve, and look at it, it is amazing. If you like pops of colour, you've got a nice blue duochrome there, you've got a nice green. This is why I got this palette, because when I first started liking colour again, I thought, you know, this one would be a good one. I think they're only like £18 off of eBay, not eBay, Beauty Bay, so they're really worth the money. And then I have, oh, this one I think is my favourite. It's the Zoeva Caramel Melange palette, and I think this one out of all of them is my favourite. God, I just love this eyeshadow, and that's in the shade Liquid Centre, and also Almost Burnt is gorgeous. It's just a really nice orange toned based eyeshadow palette, and just looking through these palettes now is giving me so much inspiration. So, you know, I don't know why I was so intent on getting like tons of like different makeup. I could have saved myself so much money if I'd done this sooner. I've got this one which I'm thinking about decluttering, and this is a great like eye and face like makeup palette, and it's tiny as well, so it would be good like to take on your travels. That's the only reason I'm keeping it. And it's the Kardashians Chroma palette. So basically you've got your blushes and your highlighter there, really, really pretty. And then in the top bit you've got your eyeshadows, and I really like all of these, so I'm thinking I probably will keep it and use it a little bit more. Now these were the first 2 eyeshadow palettes that I got, and I think I'm just holding on to them for sentimental reasons. They're completely unusable. So we've got the Dior, doesn't even, it just says number 7 on it. Yeah, so we've got that one, and then we've got the Lady Gaga MAC. So I'm going to open them up, and you can see just how unusable they are. I think what I'm going to do is just take a photograph for them and have that, and just get rid of them out of the collection. I know they don't take up much space, but they're completely unusable. I mean, it's pointless. It's not hygienic having bad palettes with good palettes anyway. They just need to go now, I think. So yeah, let's put them somewhere else. Then we have this. When I saw this, I thought this was such a great idea. It's the Cargo Cosmetics California Throwback palette, and again, it's brilliant for travelling. I feel like I'm saying this about them all. So you've got them shades, so it's just completely magnetic. Love this green colour here, and this gold, and obviously this base shade here. So you could get away with just using this all throughout your holiday or like your weekend break. And then you've got the blusher and the bronzer. Yes, the bronzer is a little bit more shimmery than I would like, but you could completely get away with that. And then you've got lipsticks. I particularly like this berry coloured lipstick here, and you've got kind of like a couple of gold shimmery ones, so I definitely want to try and get more use out of that, just to see whether I want to keep it in the collection. Then we've got this Stila Eyes Are the Window, and this is in Soul. To be honest guys, I don't know if I want to keep it, which saddens me because I paid a lot of money for this. So yeah, I mean, I have used it. You can see I've not used it an awful lot, and again, they're just normal, to me, or boring neutral shades. Like this shade here is what I use for highlight. I've used that quite a bit. And then when it comes to these darker shades, I've stayed away. So I'm just gonna, like, I'll probably use it one more time and then make a decision on it. See what I mean? I used to go for eyeshadow palettes that were just so similar. Then we've just got the last section of the drawer. Now this video is going to be so long. So the camera's already stopped once. Right, so now we're moving on to my Z palette. I absolutely love all the eyeshadows in this Z palette. They're all Makeup Geek apart from this one. I don't think this one is Makeup Geek. That one's not Makeup Geek. So they're by Revolution. I think, no, they're by Freedom. Sorry, that's by Freedom. That's obviously the balm. I got that free in like a glossy box, and obviously these are Benefit powders. So that is basically what I want to do is I want to declutter my powders. I've only got, I think, another 2 powders, and put them in a magnetic palette like this. For now, I've just put it in here. That one's Havana, and this one's the newer one. I can't remember the name of it. I will leave it linked down below. Really like this, and the reason I want to put it in a palette like this, just so I'll get use out of it. I want all my Benefit blushes together, kind of making my own like palette from the Benefit blushes. This one has barely got any use out of it, and that's why I've done that. And yes, I am like being a bit, I don't know, I am wasting money on like the packaging and stuff, but I don't really care about that at this point, as long as I'm getting the use out of the actual product. So next thing, this was quite controversial on YouTube when it first came out, and it's the Balm Appetit palette. Now, right, I really like this, especially like the more, like, so it basically says eat your heart out. So I'll just go through the shades. I mean, I think a lot of people at the time thought that you had to put your brush in this little section, but yeah, this comes open. And then this shade here, what's it say? Crispy Bacon. That one is my favourite shade. And in fact, I like all these shades in the middle. Don't really have much use for these ones here, I've got to admit, and I do like the mattes on top. So you'd say 3/4 of that palette does get used. And I did get it in the sale. I got it in the sale from, I don't know, it's something like yeah, it was Boohoo. So I got it from the sale there, and yeah, I like it. What more can I say about it? Recommending it is a different thing, because a lot of people don't like it, and I wouldn't like to recommend a product that you may not like, but I like the middle row of that palette because it's metallics. Then I've got this Missy Lynn BH Cosmetics, and I'm sure I bought this with the Carly Bible one, and it's, again, you know, it's still got the clear plastic on it. It's barely been touched. I don't use purple eyeshadow much, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it, which is a shame. I like the highlighter in it there, Yeah, so I like that, and the golds are nice. I just need to use it a little bit and figure out what I want to do with that. Then we're moving on to Juvia's Place. So I've not had this one that long, and this is the Deuce by Juvia's. For so long I was avoiding Juvia's Place just because they have got quite a bad rep, or they did have. Now, right, let me tell you which ones I love. I love macaroons. Now, actually there's I think there's not a tutorial as such, but there's a video on my channel just showing you what I like and what I don't. I love this creme shade here. Tarte's a nice shade. Don't really use chocolate, but it does look nice. Custard's nice. Puffs, I think, no, it wasn't that shade. I liked Puffs, and I also like Berry Mousse. When it came to Mont Blanc, I really didn't like it at all. When I tried it with like a fixing spray, it looked fine, but on by itself, it just didn't. It wasn't pigmented enough. And then this crepe shade is really nice as well. So that's that one. And then the first one I ever got from them is the Zulu. Everyone knows what this one looks like, and it is stunning. I just absolutely love it. This shade in particular is my favourite, and this shade, now whenever I wear this middle row, everyone always compliments me on my eye look, and I love this duochrome here. It's just a really pretty palette. I'd say, you know, if you're gonna get one or the other, get this one at least to start with, and if you want to create colourful looks. Then we're moving on to this BH Cosmetics, which I've had quite a while, and it's a metallic eyeshadow palette. Now, I really recommend these. I think they're great, especially if you like colourful looks or you want it for a makeup kit. I love the blues and the greens. The yellows are nice, and obviously you're getting quite a lot of neutral eyeshadows in here as well. So yeah, really recommend that. And they're not that expensive, and now you can get that particular palette from Beauty Bay, whereas at the time you could only buy it from BH Cosmetics. So now we're moving on to Morphe. So we've got the 35OS palette. I don't know how true this is, but I've been told that they've stopped doing it. I don't know. This palette has hardly had any love, so I need to, like, going into the I'm trying to right, let's move the camera back a bit. I'm trying to focus it a little bit so you can actually see it. Going into the winter months, and obviously because we're in the autumn now, I want to use this more. But yeah, it really is a beautiful palette. My favourite shades are all these oranges here, so I definitely want to make more use out of that. The last thing I want is for it to go bad. Then I have this 35F palette here. Let's just move this drawer and see if that helps. Yeah, 35F. Move it forward a bit. A lot of the eyeshadows have been untouched. I got this more for the golds, I will admit, and there are a lot of golds eyeshadows in it, but I don't know. I think I might declutter it, just because I've got so many eyeshadows that are very similar. So I'm gonna have to have a think on that and maybe use it one more time. Now this one is the newest one that they did, and it's the Mood one, I think it's called. Yeah, the Mood Artistry palette, 35M. Still got the plastic in it, and guys, come on. How beautiful is that? Even if you don't like colour, you've got to appreciate how pretty this is. So yeah, really like that, and I need to use it more. Mainly I've just swatched it. I think I've used it 1 or 2 times. So that is obviously staying. Right, so we're moving on to something that's barely had any use, and I'm a bit devastated really because it cost a lot of money, but I just can't get into it at all. I have tried selling this. So you get your brushes, but I've took them out just because I don't want them to fall. So you've got your blush, then you've got your 4 eyeshadows, which are all shimmer by the way, so obviously I didn't think this through. And then you've got your lip products in here. Really is pretty. I have tried selling it, like I said, but nobody seems to want it. I don't just want to give it away because it's expensive. So I might just have to work on maybe panning that as well next year. Because obviously I want to get some kind of use out of it. So that's that. Then we have this Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette, and to be honest, when I got this, I liked it, don't get me wrong. I mean, who wouldn't like it? It's stunning. It really is stunning. So I did like it, but some of the shades just weren't pigmented enough for me. So the shades that I did like, let's talk about them. So I liked Access. I liked, it was Coin, I think I liked. You can see that I didn't get a lot of pigment out of Classified. I've used this about 3 or 4 times, and I was really trying to basically, you know, get it to work for me. And then I remember seeing that Jaclyn Hill tweeted that somebody had told her that if you rub the top layer off the shadows, which by the way I don't think you should have to do when you're paying. I got this one and I paid £20. You shouldn't have to do that because it is kind of, I know it's Morphe, but it is kind of classed as a higher end product, especially, you know, when you're having to pay like shipping and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's only 10 eyeshadows. So basically, yeah, I didn't like it. There was a lot of shades in here that I didn't like, so I went in when somebody suggested I do that. I didn't want to send it back because I really do like the palette and I wanted to support Jaclyn Hill because I do like her as a YouTuber. So I went in with just, I didn't use kitchen roll like they said. I just used a bit of toilet paper, and these eyeshadows now, guys, are super pigmented. So if you're having the same issues, just try that. I mean, all I wanted really out of these palettes were Access to Work, Secret, Agent, and then all the shimmers. And I wasn't too bothered about these darker shades. Oh yeah, and Top Secret. And this VIP I'm not that bothered about, just because it's a white and I don't really like to use white. But I have used it as in a corn highlight. But yeah, I really do like this now and we'll be keeping it. Sorry I kind of went off on a tangent then, but that's me. So yeah, this one, Most Wanted, this is the last one I'm going to talk about. Most Wanted eyeshadow palette, nude, Art Deco 4. And I remember buying this, seems like ages ago now, but I just thought it looked so much like the Urban Decay Naked Free. I mean, it's got a lot of those rose gold tones in it, but I haven't used it. I don't think I've used it. I think I've swatched it. I'm going to try and give it away to someone. I was thinking about my niece, see if she wants it, because like I said, you know, it's barely been used. And yeah, I have tried to sell it previously, but there doesn't seem to be any takers. So the next best thing, without actually throwing it out, is giving it to my niece. But yeah, that's everything. So you've seen all my higher end palettes. I'm going to do a video on all the other palettes, but that will go up separately. Thank you for watching. It means a great deal to me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.